at hand. We did hear from Dabo, Linda. You're correct. We played some audio from Dabo, including his comments on legendary Florida State head coach Bobby Bowden. Edward wants to sign some endorsement deals. Yeah, me and you both, Edward. No, I don't know. How about some glucosamine? Keep those joints. As when you're the radio show host, you got the glucosamine nearby. In local news, Swanny just signed a deal with glucosamine. And boy, his knees have never felt better. Actually, I haven't had to take a glucosamine in years. These things are so expired. I don't even know why I'm holding on to them. Look at that. What does that say? The 2014. I figure they're not bad, right? I mean, do they really go bad? I just had some joint pain at one point. My knee was hurting at one point, Linda. I had to put a little bit of that on there. Your boy Swanny was hurting. Like running up and down the basketball court. Ouch. All right, let's see what we have here. Sander says, anyways, Mr. Clemson, I'm a guy in my early 20s with autism who enjoys your show. Do you own a leather jacket? I've noticed a lot of people in sports wear them. Yeah, there was probably a time I had a leather jacket. No, I do have one. I don't wear it. Sander, not anymore. I think there was a time they were kind of in, and then you kind of cross this bridge sometimes with items like that you don't part ways with because you think it might come back. And it's not one with like buckles and stuff. You know, it's a kind of what I'd say is a little more sporty looking, more dressy than anything. But it's been a while, man. It's been a while. Edward says he can get a sponsorship from Rice Krispies with his knees snap, crackling, and popping. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. You're all over it, man. It is it is a weird time, right? And that's the other thing too. Like this deal with Dr. Pepper for DJ. I mean, that is a major brand. And a national brand, a global brand, right? I think. I mean, in a lot of respects, is Dr. Pepper not a global brand? I would think it is. And I've also learned that it looks like Keurig may actually own Dr. Pepper. Doing a little further research. Keurig, I guess, bought it in 2008. It was introduced in 1885. And at one point, I believe it was only bottled out in Texas. But related products, Dr. Wells, Dr. Thunder, and Pibb Extra. I remember Mr. Pibb. But yeah, DJ, I mean, what a deal. I mean, that, and I don't know how much. You know, we haven't seen that information yet. I don't even know if we ever will see that information. The Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco, Texas is on the National Register of Historic Places. And again, I think this about this deal for DJ, and I said this earlier. Let's not forget that this Fansville series, mini-series, whatever it is, like the commercials that sort of tell a story in line, like the one where they jinx the kicker and all of that, the kind of crazy scenarios that play out. Those are commercials that come on during football games that you actually tune into. Those aren't ones that that just happen and you don't know about them. And I would also add that the other great thing about them, from an advertising standpoint, at least from my perspective watching, is when it's over, I know it's a Dr. Pepper commercial. I mean, how many times have you been watching a commercial and not even knowing what it's about? Like, I'm going to tell you, it took me 3 years to know what Limu Emu was. You watch those commercials with the little emu, and at the end, I just thought it was like, I really didn't know. Yeah, I actually had to like tune in and go, oh, that's a Liberty Mutual Insurance commercial. But the Dr. Pepper ones, there's no doubt. You know, when you watch the Fansville stuff, you know, and now DJ going to be coast to coast in some of those. How can that be bad for Clemson? It can't. And that might be all the more reason for Clemson to embrace the NIL at this point. Because that's the one way you keep yourself in front of people nationally. You know, certainly winning on the field helps, but if Clemson drops 3 games this season and they're not in contention for the playoffs, guess who's still on every television in town? Across the country, DJ Uiagalelei. What does that do? Plants a seed, man. Inception. Just plant that seed. And then as it begins to unfold, you get some kid sitting in his house in who knows where, Tempe, Arizona, and all of a sudden there's a Dr. Pepper commercial and he sees this kid in an orange jersey with a 5 on it, big Cinco in the house. And he's thinking, man, I wonder who this guy is or where this guy went to school. And the next thing you know, he finds out it's DJ Uiagalelei, and then he says, man, I only go play at Clemson. That place must be cool. Maybe I can get a Dr. Pepper scholarship. So at least at this point, for Clemson, with the NIL things taking place, they are in a spot where their players are quite popular. They are in a spot where their players could land big deals like this. And that might, I mean, look, here's the, like, I can talk about the bad side, which I do believe is out there because you're not a big market. You don't have a huge donor base that is in any way, shape, or form tied into a major conglomerate or big business like Microsoft or Apple or Facebook or Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola, for crying out loud. But you are at the top when this thing starts. And that should land more opportunities for your players from airlines and other people. And if that happens, then maybe you hold on a little longer at the top than you traditionally would have. That cycle, of you falling off and trying to have to climb back up, the water cycle of college football, if you will. It may take a little longer for the rain to dry up because now people across the country, other players, young, impressionable individuals are going to see a Clemson, well, not a Clemson jersey. It'd be an orange jersey with DJ Uiagalelei in it in a Pepsi commercial. And that's probably a huge deal, one would think. And I could argue that in said commercial, if you don't have Clemson on the jersey, you don't have a paw in the helmet, you could make that part of the skit. It's an orange helmet with the white stripe. You go, where's the paw? DJ's lost his paw. And boom, it plays right into Clemson. It plays right into a weird storyline. Dr. Pepper gets the love, DJ gets the love, and Clemson gets the love nationally in that respect. We hit a quick break. We'll bounce back with more Clemson Sports Talk right after this.
Now, your chance to win $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword FLIGHT to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation